There's definitely a lot of places I've traveled where I see really unequivocal changes. And it's mostly in the size of the glaciers. I used to go up to Glacier Bay 30 years ago, and there used to be what we call tidewater glaciers, where the glaciers literally terminated right into the salt water. And several of those glaciers now are a quarter of a mile away from the water, and that's all happened in 30 years or less.
During these 5 years, we lost the last rhinos, black rhinos, from the park. The elephants knocked down all of the yellow-barked fever trees, and so the monkeys that I studied originally when I went there, vervet monkeys, which are very common in Africa, went locally extinct because they didn't have any place safe to sleep, and they all literally were eaten by leopards. And I had the very last sighting of wild dogs in Amboseli. So during these just 5 years, I literally saw before my eyes, these changes. So in 2000, CI organized a meeting of scientists from all over the world called Defying Nature's End. And the question that was asked at that meeting is, what do we need to do to stop this? And one of the recommendations from that meeting was we actually need quantitative data on what is happening to biodiversity. So we need to be able to put numbers to it and really understand how it's changing. And so Gordon Moore, the former CEO of Intel, who was visionary, said, we need a network of places all over the world where we measure things in exactly the same way. And he was particularly interested in tropical forests, so we can understand how tropical forests are changing. But the other thing that's really driven this is climate change. So a couple of years ago, there were two things published that really got our attention. And they're merged here. So one is this map of all these different colors. And what this is a comparison of current climate to climate in 2000 versus the predicted climate in 2100. And the darker red these areas are, the more different the future climate will be. And we came up with kind of a model of the sorts of agricultural intensification strategies and what some of the unintended consequences for natural ecosystems might be. In this area where we're working, AGRA, the Alliance for a Green Revolution in Africa, has a goal to double food production in 3 years. I mean, this is massively ambitious and could have huge impact on these very diverse systems. So the white areas are areas where there are clouds, but the red areas are areas where production is very sensitive to changes in rainfall, and the blue areas are areas, well, this is just for one year, 2009 relative to the 8-year period of 2003 to 2009. But so our idea is that over time, if we produce these every year and it can be automated, then we'll begin to build up a picture of where are the places where people and ecosystems are relatively resilient to variability in climate, and where are the places that are most sensitive. So we can start using that to plan for climate change adaptation.